Good afternoon. Yeah, so my name's Burgess, as most of you are aware. Ex-22nd Cheshire Regiment and 1 Mercian. I've been asked by Carl Robbo and Mark Wallace to do a little video as to where am I now, which is good. It's great to see Andy Hawkins, great to see Mark Wallace doing their own video a couple of weeks ago. I was penciled in to do it last week. Something come up and I wasn't able to, so here we go. So doing it again this week, and yeah, we'll go from there. I'm just going to mention a few things over the period of time, sort of from being in the military to then leaving and then becoming who I am today, which has not been easy. I'm not going to lie. Civvy Street is a hard place when all you've known for years and years is military, and then you come out and it's like, here we go. You do a quick career transition workshop, do a CV, and then away you go. But we'll come back onto that. So, left the army as a full corporal in very end of 2009. I've always said, if you have a family and a son or a daughter or anything, then that was my time done pretty much. Because as you know, we're always away, we're always doing bits and bobs, and all I wanted to do is come home and be a good dad. And that's exactly what I did. Some of the officers, some of the sergeant majors and stuff, Budge, you're not leaving the army. You're not leaving the army, mate. I say, I'm telling you now, I'm going to leave. And a lot of them used to say to me, Budge, your blood is green. You are never leaving the forces. And that is, you know, I never thought I would leave, because that's everything I knew, and everything I was. But obviously, I made my decision. I left when my son was 9 months old, in some, you know, struggling times. Bit of an episode of depression, going through that. But that wasn't due to leaving the forces, I don't think. That was due to when we was based in Northern Ireland in 2005 to 2007. I had a goal to try and progress as much as I could and move into something what I was in training for. And I went over with a load of kit on my back one night, on and op, and basically done both cruciate ligaments in both knees, medial and lateral meniscus, and the cartilage which is in between your joints on both knees. Basically don't have none no more. So that put me out for about 12 months, 13 months in and around. Was in rehab constantly all the time, going here, there and everywhere. But I was a soldier. I didn't want to be in rehab. I wanted to be able to do my job, as majority of you know. And I wasn't able to do that, and I wasn't able to then pursue the dream of what I wanted to become. So therefore, it was the right time for me then to obviously leave the forces. Obviously, I got all the rehab and everything through the military, but it put me in a bit of a bad place, because you always want to move forward and you always want to progress and do the best you possibly can. And when something like that happens, and you sort of just stuck in a rut, really. So yeah. So anyway, we moved on from there. Cracked on. Went over to Iraq and everything again. Done a few bits and bobs. Done the PSD role out there for one of the generals, which was awesome. We done that for a fair few months out in Baghdad. That was brilliant. Great tour. And plus, we could go in all the American camps and eat as much stuff and get as much of that Gatorade as possible and bring it back for the lads, which was amazing. So yeah, so that's what we did. And then after that, it was all just a matter of going on training courses, doing all the rest of it, and then as I left, majority of the blokes then, I think it was a month after, deployed to Afghan on Herrick 12, and they had a very hard tour, and like I say, I was thinking about it every single day, because all my brothers who I've obviously worked with for years and years and years, they're all over there, and then here's me stuck back in Wythenshawe in Manchester, not knowing where I'm going and what I'm doing. And also I think it was quite hard at that time as well, because I didn't have them brothers to speak to, you know, like on a daily basis, because we were all deployed in Afghan. So basically it was just me in this big bad civilian world just cracking on. But as usual, you've got to smash it, haven't you? And you know, you can't let things get you down. So what I did with my enhanced learning credits and stuff at the time, I done my CP course, and it was okay. I know everybody at the time and earlier, they were all jumping on the CP courses, and there was some good contracts still out there. There were some fantastic contracts, but I sort of chose to do that because I got in with a guy from Manchester who was doing some local CP work with a fair few people, and still till this day now. I'll speak about it a bit more later on. I've done quite a lot with an investment banker, and that was great. You know, been all over with him, do loads and loads of bits and bobs as a close protection officer, and I've been doing that for many years now, and I still do it till this day as a bit of a favour, really. So yeah, so moving from that, when I left the forces, I done my CP course, but on a job opportunity come up to be basically it was a High Court enforcement officer, where you're like a bailiff, going round taking things off people that they owe and this, that and the other. I'd done it for a while. Everything changed, but it won't, you know, it got to a stage where you're doing that sort of job, you're waking up in the morning, you're not enjoying what you're doing, because you know you're going to someone and you're absolutely destroying their day, or their week and potentially their life, you know, through their own fault for not paying what they needed to pay, however, you know, but still it had a bit of a burden on you. So I needed to, it changed a lot of things, and I moved away from that. And then someone got in touch with me in regards to the anti-piracy roles, which are obviously overseas in the Indian Ocean and stuff like that. So yeah, I jumped on board that. And then what they did is they told me I needed all these different courses. So I already had my CP course. I had to do another course called STCW 95, where we had to go over to a place called Riga in Latvia. So we went over there, we done this course over there, and then we had to do an advanced firearms course. Why is beyond me. So we went from Riga in Latvia over to Lithuania, where we worked with the Lithuanian Special Forces out there doing an advanced firearms course for a week or so. It was good, don't get me wrong, it was a good laugh. But at the end of the day, everything that we've been through, we shouldn't need to waste money on advanced firearm courses when that's our bread and butter pretty much. So anyway, you have to do it to get the tick in the box, as we all know. So went overseas for a few years then, doing the private security stuff and bits and bobs on the anti-piracy roles. That changed quite a bit, and it was funny at first because I went out with a company called Red 4, and it was hilarious. So we flew into Dubai and then flew from Dubai into Sri Lanka. Gets off the plane in Sri Lanka. Then you've got like a 3 or 4 hour journey to get down to wherever you need to be to get on board your vessel. So we get on, we goes to this port, little navy port, goes in there, picks up these weapons, picks up some ammunition. Anyway, gets on there, starts distributing, starts getting all my gear out to have a look, see what kind of equipment we've got. We've got 4 shotguns and about 20 rounds. So anyway, I wanted to try and test fire one of the shotguns, so we went onto the bridge wings of the thing, pressed the trigger, and obviously shotgun ammunition got all damp. Anyway, I could have spat harder than the ammunition, so basically we were unarmed, because they wouldn't have done anything, them weapons or that ammunition, if we were to actually get attacked or try to get boarded. Anyway, we had some great times over the years. However, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to work away. And it became more apparent when my son was getting a little bit older, and it used to kill me, because I always said I've left the army to be at home and look after my son and bring my son up and be with my missus and crack on. And my son got to about 3.5, I think 4 at the time. And he's saying to me, "Dad, I don't want you to go away anymore. Don't want you to go away anymore." And anyway, this time what was happening is the companies we were working for were stripping all the costs. And they stripped all the costs down, so we used to get paid travel days, we used to get paid hotel days if we were out in them countries, we used to be on holding vessels in the middle of the ocean somewhere where it'd just be a drop-off. And they stopped us paying and stuff like that, so I thought, right, I need to get my head down now and get back onto Civvy Street and crack on for my family, because being away all the time, it's not great. And you want to be there to be a dad. You don't want to miss all them years of your children growing up while you're cutting away somewhere, thinking that you're earning top money, when really it's not about the money. It's not about the money. And I'll come on to that in a minute. So anyway, I left that and I went to work for a company called Commando Joe's. And Commando Joe's, basically, you'd go and work in schools, and you'd be like a mentor sort of thing in there for team building tasks and stuff like that with all the children in primary schools and secondary schools and things. And that was brilliant. You used to get up in the morning and go and do that. However, just to see the look on the kids' faces when you walk in and you're in uniform and you're talking about the army days, and even one school, I managed to do a risk assessment and method statements and stuff like that and get it all out there for them. And I actually got some paintball guns down, and I was doing full section attacks with year 6 pupils up and down the field, pepper potting, and away they go, even shouting grenade and stuff like that. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But that was a great time for them kids, because they'll always remember that, and I'm glad that I was a part of that. However, Commando Joe's was a bit of a stepping stone, because I was looking at getting a career and looking to see where I needed to be. I wanted a trade and I wanted to progress as much as I possibly could, and therefore my brother-in-law's best mate, Rob, he's worked on the gas for a long time, so I asked him about it, and then I went for a job interview with a company called Balfour Beatty at the time, as a contractor for them, to work on the gas distribution, on all the pipelines and stuff like that. So what I did is I jumped in there through the word off my brother-in-law's best friend. He's a really good friend of mine, and I've never looked back, really. So basically now, moving from there, going from Balfour Beatty, we was working and progressing for a fair few years to perfect my skills, and I was quite fortunate that I had 2 guys, and because I was interested as well, they were interested in teaching me, and that's a big thing, because when you come onto Civvy Street, some people go, "Oh, it's shit, this, it's one, it's this, it's this, it's this." Well, it's only that if you believe that it's that, because what you have to do on Civvy Street is you have to knuckle down and you have to crack on. and you have to get on it and you have to jump on it. And if you want to learn a trade, you have to learn that trade, and you have to do as much as you can and be as best as possibly, as best as you possibly can at that job. So what's happened now is basically from that, there's some people who have been in the same company for years and years, and they're still contractors, whereas because I wanted to learn, I wanted to be there, I was doing all the overtime God sends, it's classed as an emergency service, so therefore we're out 24/7, basically. So I was volunteering, we were doing everything, and cracking on. And then my ambition then was to get where my friend was who got me in there, which was National Grid at the time, as a gas repair engineer for National Grid. So it took me a couple of years. I got rejected a couple of times on the interviews because they had a massive problem with recruitment over the years, and they just didn't recruit anybody really. And then when they did, they'd only take 5 or 6 on at a time each year, so that was only every 12 months. So what happened then is, after the second time of applying, I then went. I got rejected the second and then got accepted on the third, but it was just like a massive weight off my shoulders, and the reason for that is because you get a pension, your money goes up, everything, paid holidays, you get, you get everything, and you get well thought of as well, which is the main thing. You sort of put that uniform on like you used to with your military uniform, and sometimes, and you sort of feel proud that you're a part of that company. And I mean, 2,500 people applied for one job in Manchester, and I was the only person to get that job that year. And that's through hard work and determination and a lot of effort put in. If you're that person who goes sick all the time, or you can't be bothered on a Monday because you've been on the piss all the weekend, then, you need to have a good look at yourself. But all I've got to say is, for the people who are leaving the forces and you're trying to get into something, try and get into a trade, but try and be the best person you can be in that trade, and try and learn it as best and as much as you can, and then just progress from there and go from there. So yeah, so gas repair engineer now for well, it used to be National Grid, it's now called Cadent. It's called Cadent Gas now. So we're all gas repair engineers for Cadent Gas, and over the last couple of years now, I mean, I love my job. I absolutely love it. We fix and we repair all the gas leaks around Manchester, and you work in teams of 2, so it's buddy system. And also this year, or last year should I say, I managed to get Big Dave Mack on with me. So at this current time, I'm training Dave Mack at the moment to become a gas repair engineer, which is brilliant because I've knew the guy now for pretty much 20 years, whatever. We've been all over the world together, we've been to war together, we've done everything. Now we're civvies, and I've managed to get him back on, so it's great to have that buddy system between ourselves, and we're working as a 2-man team, which is great. And as you've probably noticed, Dave likes his food, so he looks after us, which is great. So no, but all the gas lads are brilliant. All the guys, it's like being back in the mill with the bond that we have with each other on the gas, and that's what we miss so much. And yeah, so I enjoy my job. I miss the military, but I don't miss the military for the job. I miss the military because of all yous. Everyone I've had the honour and the pleasure of serving with over the years. It's been fantastic, and even these 25 press-ups a day for 25 days challenge, it's something else, just seeing everybody, and I mean everybody, doing it and spreading this awareness, and it's fantastic. It really is. It's brilliant. And yeah, and like I say as well, or what I would want to say is, try and spend as much time with your kids and stuff as possible, and get out there, because you get so caught up in life and work that you sort of miss that time. I mean, when my son was, when he was 4 and I left doing the private security, I wanted to get into some things and try and help him out as best as I could. So what we did is we went to mixed martial arts, and I took him doing wrestling, kickboxing, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and all that sort of stuff, and it was unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. You know, I was training on one side of the mat, my son was training on the other side of the mat, and it was amazing, you know, to bring him up, and he'd done that for many years. And then he said to me when he was getting a little bit older, because the PlayStation generation, Dad, I don't really want to do it no more. So I didn't want to push him into something. He stopped doing it, and he's currently upstairs at this moment in time on his PlayStation, Call of Duty with all his mates, living the dream, which is brilliant. So, you know, we'll have to get him into something, but I can't push him into something that he doesn't want to do. So I hope you've enjoyed listening and watching me today. It's a pleasure to have worked and to have served, and you know, with pretty much most of the people off this group and through the tag veterans, and Carl Robbo, Mark Wallace, Andy Hawkins, Darren Willerton for doing his fundraiser, absolutely amazing, and it's great to see everybody. And I just want to say thanks very much for giving me the opportunity to do this today. Like you say, it's quite hard sometimes when you're doing stuff like this, because you don't really know what to talk about. But where I am now is I'm a gas repair engineer for Cadent Gas, fixing all the gas pipes all over the place and living the dream as usual. So thanks very much for the opportunity. Miss all the boys. Mark Wallace with your podcast, brilliant mate. I was watching you last night. Keep it going, mate, keep it going, and I'll continue to do that. And obviously Tag Veterans, fantastic work, and look forward to speaking to you soon. And so live the dream, stand firm, strike hard. 22nd, have a good night, have a good week, have a good weekend, and keep it real. Enjoy. Goodbye.